Well, hello everybody. Swamp Fox News, cooks and reviews coming at you with another cooking show 101. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. I'm gonna give it a few minutes to let a couple people get in, and then I will get started. Hope everybody's doing well. Tonight we're going to be making homemade meatballs. It's a great recipe, and these will be super moist and juicy. It's so flavorful. If you follow the recipe to a T, you won't have any issues. Of course, you can always make adjustments to your flavor standards with any recipe I give. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing well. And make sure y'all smash that like button. That's why I'm giving it a few minutes to let some people come in. I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands real good. Consistently wash my hands for any cook, especially when you're changing, touching different foods, poultry, beef, anything like that, seafood, keep cross contamination. About 3,000 people each year die from food poisoning. Just a little jaded. Good evening. Thank you for being here. Let me show y'all my homemade recipe for homemade meatballs. These are buttermilk meatballs. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get started, y'all. Marine Vet Mom, how you doing tonight? I'm going to go ahead and walk through everything that we're using, and then I'm going to tell y'all how much of each thing you need. And so anyway, to start off with, you want to use some fatty pancetta. Now see, this has got a good bit of fat in it, but some of the pieces, the first pieces I had more of the muscle of the meat versus the fat, but you want to get some that's fatty. See how good this is fatty? It's got a lot of fat. So you want to get some pancetta, and you want to use about 4 ounces of it and chop it up real good. That's that right there. That's your pancetta. See, I got it chopped up real good. And that's your sausage. Now I'm using mild sausage, okay? A mild Italian sausage. Now, the actual recipe, I normally use pork, just regular ground pork. But because if you remember the other day, I had this left over, I'm going to use it. Now, you would normally use 1 pound of ground pork versus 1 pound of hamburger, but this is a little over a half a pound, and it's real fatty, so that's okay. The mild Italian sausage, it's okay. Go ahead and use this. A little over half pound. Now the hamburger, you also don't want to use like a real lean one, because you want these to be moist. So you want to use, this is 85%, so you want to use something like that because you want some fat in it. Okay. All right. Also, for this cook, you're going to use about 2 cups of unpacked. See, this ain't packed now. This is white bread. Take off the crust and cut them into little cubes. And what you're going to do with that is you're going to dump it in the bowl, and you're going to put the buttermilk in there. I'm going to go ahead and get that part started. You're going to need buttermilk for this, and about a 1/3 cup to start with to mix in the bread. And of course, if you have to add any more, you want to do about a teaspoon at a time. I'm going to do about a teaspoon at a time. If you have to add more, just to make it moisten it up. Anyway, so you want to put the buttermilk in with your bread. You're going to let that sit there for a few minutes. And then you're going to mash it up with your hands. Let that get coated. Toss it around a little bit. You want that bread to soak up that buttermilk. And this takes a few minutes for it to get soft and soak it all up, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and start with that. You're also going to need 3 large egg yolks. You're going to need a medium onion, 6 to 8 cloves of garlic. I actually use 8 because I like garlic a lot. You're going to use 1 teaspoon of fennel seed, dried fennel seed, 1 teaspoon of oregano, dried oregano, and you're going to use a cup of fresh parsley. You want to chop it up good. You want to use fresh parsley, you guys. It makes it just taste so much better. Okay, and then you're going to use 4 tablespoons of this type of cheese that I can't pronounce, so I'm going to show it to you. But 4 tablespoons of that. That's the cheese. That's going to be mixed up in your hamburger meat. So I don't know how to pronounce it. You know, I always get the pronunciations wrong, but that's it. And again, the dry fennel seed, dry oregano leaves. You want to use 3 tablespoons of fine sea salt. It's important that y'all use the fine salt and use the sea salt over regular table salt. And actually, if I had some kosher salt, that would actually be better. I thought I had some fine, but I got coarse, and I don't really like using the coarse in this particular cook because you want it fine anyway. So sea salt, some black pepper, that's to your taste. Now black pepper, you don't want to add too much because it can ruin your cook. So I add it, but just a little bit of it. So that would totally be up to you guys what y'all do. And again, the fresh garlic, 8 cloves. All right. I'm going to mash this up a little bit to make sure that the buttermilk is in all the bread. Real good. Oh yeah, it's doing pretty good. Alright. Let me wash my hands again. Now I got a cast iron skillet in the oven heating up to 350. That's what I'm going to brown them in. Again, in a couple weeks when I got time, because my homemade spaghetti sauce is an all-day cook. So I am going to make my homemade spaghetti sauce again. I'm using the last leftover spaghetti sauce that I had from the jar the other day from my baked spaghetti mix to do that tonight. Alright, bear with me a second. I'm just trying to get rid of the stuff before it goes bad. Road Hog, how you doing? I hope I ain't missing anybody. I'm not paying a whole lot of attention, I know that, I'm sorry. Alright, now at this time, we're going to go ahead and add the onion and the garlic to your bread. Okay. Make sure you get all them garlic flakes in there. You want to mince the garlic. You can buy minced garlic, y'all. I'll buy fresh garlic and then mince it myself. It's really good like that. Let me get a couple other things out for you later. Alright. We're also going to add the pancetta. The egg yolks. Parsley, fennel. And the oregano. And let me get my blender. Now normally I'd use a food processor, guys and gals, but my food processor is still in storage. I haven't completely moved yet because again I am moving again, so I haven't done all that yet. Alright, so I'm going to use a speed mixer. Okay, and I'll turn it down on low, or as low as this one will go. I'm going to mix this out really good, y'all. Salt in there. The cheese. Mix that. When you're cutting the pancetta, it's easier if you put it in the freezer and not freeze it, but let it get good and cold, almost to freezing, because it's so sticky and greasy that if you're trying to, cut it like this, like it's thawed now, well, you can cut it, but it just like sticks to the thing. It's just a pain in the butt. So if you let it sit in the freezer for about 25-30 minutes, it makes it really easier to cut. That mixed really good, so them fennel seeds are all mixed in. That garlic, everything, you want to mix it really good. Y'all be thinking this week and let me know by next Wednesday what y'all want me to make for next Saturday. I was supposed to do that last week, but I couldn't. It wasn't easy to make a poll on that one, because you had to ask questions, so I'll get it figured out though. Alright, so that's mixed up pretty good. Now, you're going to slowly start adding your hamburger and sausage mix to it. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit of this wetness away and you can add to it, because I took the meat down from a pound to a little over half a pound of the sausage. So, this in there. Alright, I'm going to add that sausage in a minute, but I'm going to mix just a little bit of that in as we go. Sausage. You're gonna bring it down off the side of the bowl several times. You're gonna finish mixing it with your hand, but using a mixer or a food processor actually does it a lot better. It mixes it, the flavor goes through it better when you mix it like this or with a food processor. Or if you're making like your own sausage or whatever, and you're running it through your sausage grinder. People who make y'all sausage know what I'm talking about. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and start adding a little bit more of this in here. This is the only bad thing about using the blender versus the food processor, because the food processor is just in a bowl. But that's cool. Just got to clean it out. And then we're going to start making our meatballs. How's everybody's night going? Saturday night going? Hope going well. Y'all please remember Patricia Walton's ex-husband in your prayers. Remember, he's battling cancer. He's sick. He's got a hole in his back. She's been trying to help him and has evidently acquired a staph infection, so she's needing our prayers. She's pretty sick. Sewer Dog, the Patriot, 420, lost his best friend yesterday. One of his best friends. So there's a lot of tragedy going on. Harry Bonsell and Mama Gnome. It has some good news. Her mother is actually coming home from the hospital, so that's really good news. Thank y'all so much for your prayers, your love and support, best wishes. It's really awesome that we can come together as a community and pray for our friends and show support and love, and miracles do happen. So there's some good news for you guys. Alright, I'm not going to sit here and fight all this. I'm going to wash my hands up really good, and I'll clear some of this away, and then I'll start making up the meatballs. Y'all, anybody out there going to try to get a set of pots and pans if you don't have any? If you want an inexpensive set that are really good, I'll show you what to get. This is what I use. The Wolfgang Puck Bistro Collection. And let me tell you something. See these little heating things on the bottom? Once the pot gets hot and you're done cooking, you stir it up real good, and you can leave it sitting on the counter for a couple hours, and then you stir it up. It's still hot. It keeps it good and warm for a long time. I just got finally disused tires. Well, if you was here, I could hook you up with some tires. Y'all see that? Clear some of this away. We'll get started, y'all. 350. We'll go ahead and turn that stove on. Get it going. Yeah, it's hot. Alright, let me get my spaghetti sauce in. Because here's what you're going to do, y'all. You want to get your spaghetti sauce, whether you're home making it or not, or if you're using it out of a jar or can, that's fine. But if you're making homemade, you want to get your spaghetti sauce going and get it to temperature. Because what's going to happen is you're going to brown these on the outside to build the flavor, and then you're going to drop them down in the sauce and let them finish cooking in the sauce. Autotron, Dave C, how y'all doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Make sure y'all smashing that like button on the way in. Thank you. Alright. And again, this is just the rest of the leftover sauce I had from the other day. It's not really enough to do anything with, but it's just to do this cook tonight. Tomorrow, I'm gonna probably, because I'm gonna store some of these meatballs, and I'm gonna make some homemade sauce and then make like spaghetti and meatballs, or maybe a meatball sub since I just had spaghetti the other day. Baked spaghetti. Well, I ate that for about a week. I had that big old pan. Much love to you. Much love to everyone. Alright. So I'm getting my sauce going. I'm checking the temperature on this, trying to get it regulated back to about 350. You want a hot pan, not too hot, but you also don't want to, what you don't want to do is put them too close together, your meatballs. You want to have some room to separate, so they can cook evenly. Start making up some of these meatballs. This thing will catch back up. It's temperature. So I put it in the oven to let it build the temperature. I guess my damn thermostat might be going down on this oven. On this outer burner. I don't want to keep up. It should be at 350 on about 5. So anyway, you'll brown these meatballs. You won't cook them all the way through in the pan. You're just basically going to brown them, and then you're going to finish cooking them off in your sauce. Turn it back down and let that. See, I did that on purpose. I let that heat get back up there. The pan was getting cold. So I turned it all the way up to let it get hot, and then I'm going to bring it back over. Start cooking some meatballs. right. Get your few meatballs ready. Start putting them in the pot. You want to keep them a little bit separated, you know, so they can cook. You want to try to make them about the, that one's been too a little bit off. You want to try to make them about the same size so they cook evenly. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, y'all use this recipe. Woo! I'm gonna tell you, make sure you got some ice packs around because your tongue will slap your face till it's red. Brown them, get that flavor on them. Brown them all sides. You don't want to burn them, but you do want to brown them. Browning them, you know, makes the flavor, or helps build the flavor. That's where you can take that pan. They're kind of not too much round anymore, but yeah, there you go. Man, you ought to smell it. Ooh, that smells good. That onion, and that fennel, and that garlic. Oh yeah. Once you get some good color on them, you know, you want to get some good color on them, and you're going to drop them down in the sauce and let them finish cooking in the sauce. On simmer. Just going to let them simmer slow. go, y'all. We're just gonna let them simmer nice and slow and finish cooking. Cooking through. I'm gonna make up some more real quick. Yeah, I think my thermostat in this corner is going bad because it was going up and down. Going up and down. Man, it smells so good, y'all. Woo. Alright, let me check in on y'all while that's cooking a little bit. Where are you headed, SS? I wish you would move the camera over a bit. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm learning, y'all. Bear with me. Just brown the meatballs. I'll show you again. Let me... Again, you want to cook these in little batches so that way you can move them around. Roll them around real good. That better, y'all? Sorry. Road Hog, see you later. Thank you for being here. Kim, Autotron, let me see. Dave C. Let's see who's in here. Autotron, Marine Vet Mom, Just a Little Jaded, Dave C, Roadhog Kennel, Autotron, Vet Tech Kimmy. Alright, I thank y'all all for showing up and being here. Swamp Fox. You know, I've seen people drop raw meatballs in the sauce. I don't really think the method in it has any part of the picture of the same. What? I don't really like the method. Oh man, okay, well, you know. They're not raw. They're brown on the outside. They're semi-cooked. They're just not totally done. But they will finish cooking in the sauce, and it's just unbelievably good and juicy that way. But you know, to each his own. And again, y'all can adjust these cooks, the temperatures, the times, the ingredients. You know, to y'all's liking. That's fine. I just show y'all how I do it. The way I like it, and again, it's all up to the cook at the time who's cooking it as to what procedures you want to follow and stuff like that. I just found that cooking them in, you know, frying them all the way through, by the time it cooks all the way through, it gets to be more gray and, you know, not, I don't know, it's usually when the meat turns gray like that, it's usually just overcooked. And I'm not saying if you want to take the time and cook them slower, that won't work. Or you want to brown them and then stick them in the oven. You know, some people bake them in the oven to brown them that way too. just want to get some color on it. That's all. You want it to be brown. Whoa, the brown makes the flavor, y'all, or helps make the flavor, builds the flavor. Almost done. The first one's cooked good, almost done. Taste it a little bit. Woo, man, that thing is so good. So now, I'm just finishing, letting these cook off in the sauce. Stir it around, let it build up. Let it finish cooking just a minute, and I'll cut one open and show y'all what it looks like. I actually got one cut open, but you can tell it's not quite done. See the little bit of pink still right there in the middle? Not quite done. But let me tell you something, it's really good. The outside edges was more done. And that's okay. Well, these are some juicy meatballs, and the flavor profile, I'm gonna tell y'all make sure y'all get that fatty pancetta. Now that makes a big difference because, you know, the moisture. And you also, again, when you buy your hamburger, you don't want to buy it like the other day. I told y'all to use the 96% fat-free on the baked spaghetti, but that you didn't want a lot of grease, okay? Because, you know, you don't want a lot of grease at the bottom of your plate when you're eating baked spaghetti, but you do want fat in your meatballs. You want that grease in your meatballs, so you want to use an 85% fat content, or 15% fat content, 85% beef, and you want to use as far as, and then you want to use pork. Now again, just regular pork, shredded pork. But now I used ground pork. I used, again, mild sausage. And so I used about a little over a half pound with a pound of hamburger. But the fennel and the onion and the garlic and the salt, just everything combined together with the buttermilk and the parsley, the oregano, everything is just, the flavor profiles are unbelievably good. Turn this up a little bit so it can cook. I can cut one open and show you guys what it looks like done. Yeah, I have seen people just make the meatball and drop the raw meatball down in there myself. And it does cook that way too. But again, I think it does make it really greasy, the sauce. Doing it that way, doing the full cook. At least in the pan, I got to burn off some of that fat. And also, I just don't know how safe it is just to throw the raw meat in there. I guess it cooks all the way through. But I know this way, I've been cooking it like this for years. And I've never had an issue, and everybody loves them. Alright, let me talk to you guys. Who's still in the house? Marine Vet Mom. Later. Oh, you leaving? Love you, Marine Vet Mom. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Vet Check Kimmy. They hold together better that way. Oh, I didn't see what part you were talking about. All I remember I did. Roadhog. Smash the like button. That's right. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button, please. Let's see now. Boy, I'd love to have a hoagie roll. I heard that, Vet Tech Kimmy. I hear you. One thing about it, I can cook. I can do a lot of things. I just always like to try and do different things, and I said, well, maybe I'll like the restaurant business. So, culinary school, restaurant business management, and all the 9 yards. And guess what? I hated the restaurant business. And it ain't because I don't love to cook. I love to cook. It's the people. I've told y'all this before. It's hard to go deal with people who literally, when everything was right, but they want something for free, so they want to get a free meal, so they'll lie and say, oh, this was wrong or that was wrong, and this, that, and the other, and say the waitress did something wrong or whoever. It's always something. I just couldn't stand looking somebody in the eye when I know they're full of crap. And plus, it's, I don't know. Like I said, I just rather do what I do now. I'm not stuck to one place. Restaurant, you're stuck to that restaurant. That bad boy right there might be ready to open. I bet you this one is. Alright. That's done. There you go. That's your done meatball. And look how juicy. Ooh, look how juicy it is. See what I'm talking about? My Lord, that's so good. Oh my goodness. Oh my Lord. My tongue is slapping my face, y'all. I'm gonna have to clean up. Look at all that splatter. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all say y'all's goodbyes. That's the end of the cook for the night. I hope y'all try this recipe. If you do, let me know what you think. I absolutely think you'll love it. You can also use this recipe to make a meatloaf if you wanted to. Comes out really good and moist. And you can see you've got the garlic and some cheese and onion and the parsley and all in there. That's what mixing it up real good with that blender does. Let me tell you right now, that is really good. My family always tried getting me to go into the catering business. Once I looked into it, I seen how much liability insurance was. Yeah, I heard that. Um, you know, catering the same thing. I mean, you can do great and still have people. I mean, Judge Judy's full of people who have really good reviews online, but then they go to Judge Judy because the person just wants to rip them off and don't want to pay them, so they come up with all kind of excuses. Which I mean, you can do that in any business, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get cleaned up. As y'all see, I got a mess. Yeah, don't forget to turn the stove off. You ain't lying there. Uh, you're absolutely right. You're always looking out for me, Kim. I thank you, darling. I really do. I got a big old mess to clean up now, so I'm gonna get to it. One thing about it, my wife and her daughters and or my ex-girlfriend and her kids or whoever it was, they always loved me to cook, but I always made the deal. I'll cook, y'all clean. And they love the food, but boy, a messy kitchen afterwards. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great night. I hope God blesses each and every one of you. If you have any strife in your life, please deal with it. Go to the person that you have a problem with and try to work it out. Life is too short. Think about this. Just yesterday, Sewer Dog's best friend died, and he's not old. He's not old at all. Okay, so please remember that. I mean, it happens just like that. Sewer Dog didn't think he was going to lose his best friend yesterday, but he did. And, you know, he hadn't talked to him in a little while since he'd been down to Georgia. So think about that. Think about the people who are in your life. Is it worth reaching out to them and letting them know often, hey, I love you. You know, I just want you to know that. Um, you know, I'm just thinking about you because when someone passes and you ain't talked to them in a while, you're going to go through, oh, I wish I would have done more. Listen, me and my mom was close. I've done a lot with her, but every day I still, even yesterday, I was sitting there looking at her pictures going, could I have done more, Mom? Could I have been here more? Could I have took you more places? Could I have done more with you? Could we have talked more? Could we have done more Bible study? Could we, I mean, just so many things. The woulda, coulda, shoulda. And it's been 7 months, going on 8 months since I lost my mom, and it still haunts me daily. So please reach out to the people you love and try to squash any problems you have with them. No matter whether they believe it's your fault or you believe it's their fault. Who cares whose fault it is? Let's just get past it. That being said, I love you all. I'll see you Monday night, 9 o'clock. Newscast, Newsflash. Sounds good to me, Autotron. Love you, brother. Y'all be good.